place, a beautiful space that we can learn about meditation, we can practice the techniques, and we can share in the knowledge of meditation and we call science of self, understanding ourself at a deeper level. So this self-science, also known as Vedic knowledge, many different traditions from around the world, they have their wisdom traditions or wisdom keepers, and so there's many different traditions and lineages that have passed down this essential information from the elders, from the wise people, and to pass it on to us. So this sacred information and knowledge has been one of my passions and studies, as well as Jessica's, and we love learning. And for me in the last maybe, I don't do the math, but 16 years or so, really it's been a fascination, it's been a passion, it's been also a necessity as a awakening in my life and realizing that some things needed to be changed, some things weren't right. And so the spiritual path, the healing path, are really like the masculine and feminine energies. They're really the same. They're complementary forces. So healing and spiritual growth or spiritual awakening are really the same track, really the same line. And through various practices, through learning different information, through different experiences, it really has increased my quality of life, and I live a very blissful, happy, life, and I have lots of vitality and energy to do all the wonderful things that the world has to offer, and I just feel so happy, so blessed and enriched, and I know it's grace, it's the spiritual grace that is to send gratitude to, and so that grace wants to be shared with everyone in the community, everyone in the world, and so that's our intention. Jai Healing Org, Jessica Aaron Inspired is us being able to share the things that have inspired us, the things that have worked for us over time. And those of you who have been coming for some time now know that we don't hold back. We give you all of it. Give it all, So this being sort of the last meditation in this home, because we've been here now for a year, in our last place 2 years or 3 years, we know that we never held back from you guys. Every time we've had a meditation, we've poured it all out and let you just soak up as much as possible. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I feel really good about that. We were planning for tonight. What do we want to do with these guys today? What do we want to share? What do we want to teach? And it's really more of the same. It's really more of the same because I feel like we really are able to access that depth and really sharing it with everybody. So I would like to hear back from our community. You guys have been coming, most of you, for at least a year, if not longer. And I think it's really great for us to share in what we've been learning, what's happened for us, what has come of this engagement. So just randomly, if anybody feels inspired to say anything or share.
All those times. That this has literally changed my life. From the first time I meditated 2 years ago, like 180. I mean, Amy knew me before and after, and she can attest to that. Like, just coming here and learning about the yogi community and just all the different spiritual things I can go do, and like prayer dance I learned about through this room, and just amazing the way everything's changed. First, so much the better. So thank you.
We enjoyed
Thank God.
meeting you too. It's very
Yes. Very good.
I'm still vibrating from last time. So good.
Vincent?
I tell you, I'm doing yoga for 40 years, and once I wrote the book, I kind of like went on a sabbatical, didn't do anything. And we gave a talk here a few sessions back about pratyahara. And as long as I've been doing yoga, I never really studied the Gita. So I went home that night, and I said, I'm determined to fully understand what Eric is saying about pratyahara. Well, the next thing you know, I now have about 6 books, maybe 10, of the Gita. And I am translating the 8 steps of yoga for the Western audience. Because no matter which book you read, it's so abstract. It's all about God, 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 which is great, I want unity with the Godhead. So I've used all my spare time now to write. And I'm determined to do as much research as I can on all the 8 steps of yoga. Because, people identify yoga with the postures, with the asanas. And when they say, well, yeah, I do yoga, but they're not really talking about namas, the niyamas, the pranayamas, and finally the samadhi and the dhyanas and so forth. All the ladders, they lead you to that highest step of Nirvana Samadhi. And so that's, I would say, not your greatest influence in my life, but you know as well as I do, and I'm not ashamed to admit, you have opened my heart up so incredibly. It's beyond expression. So thanks.
I met them about 3 years ago in a little tiny yoga studio, and I brought my instruments and started to play with them, and they changed my life.
And you are the... Thank you.
Goes for Nietzsche.
I'd like to comment on your opening statement. You said you became passionate about learning about and knowing God. And that's what life is about, is finding something to be passionate about. Because if you can find a passion, you have a reason for doing, for living, for moving forward. If you're not passionate about anything, then you just kind of go through life without really accomplishing anything. And your passion to find God, I love listening to you. I've been in the same passion for the last 30 years. I've read hundreds of books and studied lots of philosophies, and some of the wisdom that you present here is some of the best I've heard. Thank you.
I just want to say I just love you guys. You're amazing. And I'm glad you're here for it, because otherwise I will never work for it. But I like the energy that we're bodying when we're moving together. It's amazing.
Yeah, we magnified as a group.
I just it's so empowering and it's so strong. I'm blessed to be in this group.
It's the Bob.
Yeah.
I met you guys probably 3 years ago, right when I first started getting into yoga and meditation. And I didn't really know much except calm abiding, like you said, to sit and nothing. And you guys just showed me so many techniques that can be used throughout the day. If something happens at work and I'm like, oh, okay. Different techniques that, I can use and work for me. It's really, really helps. And I've learned a lot. Like Vincent said, we talked about the 8 limbs of Ashtanga, and I went and studied that, and just different things that you've taught to then go and study further.
And you can share it with other people, right?
She has to repeat it all to me 3 times.
I'm sort of a sponge when I took it too.
How you learned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
teach
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
I definitely really appreciate everything. You're not even just in the acro yoga too. From you guys. And yoga classes that I've gone and taken and the workshops that you guys have done. It's been amazing. Thank you.
I'm going to keep
the words few and short. You guys better come back soon.
Don't run away to the desert.
No, just to add a little bit more, I met Aaron and Jessica about a year ago through Amy, and the first time I met them was during the beach yoga sessions, and the minute I met Aaron and Jessica, it was just, I just knew that I was excited because it was like I was just jacked right into the yoga community, just like, I was like, these are my people. So, I mean, every time I'm around at an event or a gathering, I always feel this amazing presence and spirit, and as Aaron was saying earlier, that I am present. And it's just phenomenal to be around and be a part of a community where you can just be accepted. And I might go into my little, chronic responses here and there, and I was just like, God, it's just whatever. so it's really opening and freeing, and I'm just really privileged. And Jai Guru Dev, just all praises to the Most High Teacher and all the teachers that we meet.